People will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
7 times easier to retain a customer than acquire a new one.
I think at the end of the day, the last interaction has to be human.
I'm not creating something you need. I'm creating something that you want.
They don't care about loyalty. They don't care about, they just care about the next customer, the next customer, the next customer. It's such a shame.
You need to put yourself in the shoes of the patient.
At the end of the day, your front desk people are your biggest marketing team.
And how far can AI go to substitute human relationship?
Dr. Matteo Vigo is a leading plastic surgeon in Dubai with over 20 years of experience in breast augmentation and cosmetic surgeries.
He is also one of the first UAE licensed surgeons to perform Mia Femtech, a minimally invasive breast enhancement procedure that delivers natural results with minimal scarring in less than 15 minutes.
Dr. Matteo Vigo, where precision, expertise, and care come together to create life-changing transformations with natural, lasting results.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Beauty Talks with Dr. Matteo Vigo. Today we are going to go a little bit outside the clinical part, outside the OR, and dig into what my patient feels when they walk in my clinic. I'm very passionate about the customer experience that my patient will have with me and my team inside the clinic, inside the theater, and after the procedure itself. So I'm very happy to introduce you Ben Safra, which is a good friend and absolutely a great professional that is working around the experience and how the experience of the customer, the employees, can benefit your business and enhance it. So welcome, Ben.
Thank you so much, Matteo. Nice to be here. Thank you so much. I'm really honored. So my name is Ben Safra, and I've been working for 30 years, more or less, in the luxury customer and employee experience sector within the hospitality, luxury retail, and mostly around strategy and implementation of customer and employee experience to create and design better experiences for guests, members, patients, and of course, clients in retail. So thanks for having me.
That's a great pleasure, and we had the chance to discuss it a bit in the past about how I can implement this in my system and how you can help me with that. So to do this, you created a company which is called Sensate. So when was it born? How did you come with the idea, and what is really doing now for your customers?
So Sensate was born, funny enough, during COVID. Pre-COVID, again, I worked for many luxury brands and hospitality brands on designing and implementing the customer and employee experience. And then when I came to Dubai 9 years ago, I worked for a few companies here and realized the need in this region for better experience for clients. There was here a huge kind of open door policy for clients and patients and guests and members everywhere. And then COVID happened and suddenly all the doors closed, and a lot of brands, a lot of hospitals, a lot of clinics, a lot of, hotels didn't know their guests, and they didn't know how to connect with them, and they didn't know how to create these emotional connections to bring them back. And so I immediately realized that there's an opportunity and started Sensate. And we've been very lucky since. We work now with most of the 1% ultra luxury brands. We help them with strategy. We do a lot of training programs on how to create better experiences for guests and how to create loyalty through emotional connection, through authentic approach. We worked with hospitality companies. We work with clinics. And lucky enough, we also work in the whole Minati region. So we've worked in India and Turkey and Asia.
Yeah, very good. So that's very important. So the connection, you said, how you can create a sensational experience for your customers, whatever the sector is, but especially in the aesthetic field, people come to us because they want to feel better. And if the approach starts with a phone call not answered, or a reception who doesn't know what she's saying, delayed booking, delayed confirmations, the experience starts in a very bad way. I always tell my team, you need to put yourself in the shoes of the patient, because how do you want to be treated? And that's, I think, is very important. What will really give the difference between, because I can be as good as any other surgeon, but if my experience is worse than the other, people will choose the others. And this, I think, is the key to differentiate yourself, right?
Absolutely. So look, there's so much competition out there. There's so much of similar products, luxury experiences, luxury environments. But I always do this small exercise with people, and I ask them, where do you keep going back to and why? And it could be your barber, your nail technician, whatever. And people would always say, I go to the same person because they understand me, they know me, I don't need to explain too much. So we are loyal to people, and we're loyal to experiences. And exactly like you're saying, in fact, the experience starts before someone even calls you guys. So how are you perceived online? What's the experience to reach the clinic? What is the phone experience? So yeah, you're absolutely right.
It's very important also, again, the approach. And I changed in the years also my approach on social media to become less professional and perfect and more human. I'm a human being. I have my flaws and my mistakes, my defects. And I want people to come to know me, the real me, and as I am. Then, of course, I'm a professional. When it comes to work, I'm 100% on the task. But it's very important people feel a connection. And I think what I built in these years, if you look some of a review, is this connection with people. So people say, is ready to answer my question, is there for me. The team is there for me. I have this personal assistant, fantastic, Sarah, and she was trained by me. 7 years after, she knows exactly what I want, and she can deliver that. If you don't train your team, that's also part of Sensate. It's not only how to create a customer experience, how to create a team experience, right? So tell me a little bit more about how you train the employees of your customers.
So, it's a basic mathematical equation. Happy employees equals happy customers. If a client or a guest or a patient walks into an environment and they feel that there's not a good environment, they immediately go into a kind of a fight or flight position. Do they want to be in that environment? Is it comfortable? Then they look around, the smell, the touch, the feel, and everything. So for us, when we work with clients, we immediately say to them, well, what is your employee experience like? What is your retention rate? What are you doing to keep your employees happy, to retain them, to develop them, for them to then give that same service, same level of experience to their client? Because at the end of the day, your front desk people are your biggest marketing team. Your personal 100%. Assistant is your PR machine. And if they're not happy, they're going to project that. And that's what your clients are going to get. And just to say something about what you said before, I think in the old days, people thought that wearing a suit and a tie meant professional, that putting a face of seriousness meant professional. But we're in the business of people dealing with people. People want a human being to interact with them. And if you're cold and you're not giving that personal, very humanistic approach, people won't come back to you. They won't feel that closeness. And what you've done is amazing, creating this closeness with your patients.
No, exactly. It's very important, and again, is a kind of your own brand. Because if you are yourself, nobody's like you. So again, plastic surgeon. Dubai is full of plastic surgeon, plastic surgery clinic is countless. But the difference that I'm trying to create is to really have my own touch, because it's only mine. Nobody can copy it. Can copy some techniques and copy some approaches, but at the end, who I am, it's only me. And I think that also Sensate is there to help, your customer to find their brand identity. So we were talking before, the smell and the touch when you enter in a facility, whatever is hospitality or clinic. Important. If you don't have a nice smell, and it's your personal smell, how you create, how you choose your perfume to put in your environment, says a lot about you. So that is absolutely an important part.
100%. When we talk about experiences, like I said, it starts before, but when a guest, a client, a member, a patient walks in, the senses are immediately heightened, right? First of all, you have to think that when someone walks into a plastic surgery clinic, they're obviously going through some psychological something. They need improvement, or they need something to be helped, fixed, whatever. They're already in a situation where the stress levels are a bit high. So a relaxing smell, a welcoming smile, a personal touch, that helps so much, putting people at ease. And again, I think of myself, if I go to a doctor and the doctor is super cold and super professional with me, I feel a distance and I don't feel that I can ask the right questions or feel comfortable. When I meet doctors that are nice and approachable, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and especially, in my field, I'm there, but I am the core of the business. I'm doing business, okay? So I don't hide behind the finger. Of course, we are there to make money. And if I can transmit this, I can increase my sales. And that is a circle. So if you don't start the circle in the right way, you will never close it. And that's the key that I see a lot of my colleagues, for example, they're there to work 9 to 5, and then at 5, they go home and there is no way they can see an extra patient and you need to go a little bit, the extra mile sometimes. And it's very important, again, if the doctor give you this, but we are doctors, of course, we talk about doctors, but the person on the other side of the desk, if gives you this approach, can be the receptionist in the hotel, can be a waiter in the restaurant. If they give this approach, you feel relaxed and you tend to spend more. That's the other, very important thing.
100%. Look, there's two things I want to say. First of all, you have to think always of the negative. If you have a negative experience with someone, it could be a front desk person, a nurse, whatever. All the effort that you've done, gone. Because people will immediately say, "Oh, Dr. Matteo's clinic is terrible. We've had a horrible experience," and the judgment will be on you and your clinic and your name. Same with a brand or a hotel. So everybody is equally important as you are in your clinic. Your nurses, your assistant, anyone that customers interact with, patients interact with is really important. And on the other side, I always say this. I think in this region, there's this tendency to try to maximize as much as possible the moment, but money and revenue actually comes from loyalty and from a long-term relationship, because the minute a customer or a patient trust you, then they will come back and do a little bit more and improve a little bit more and do more. You might get a great operation at one time, but they'll never come back if they didn't have a great experience. So,
and also they said that it's 7 times easier to retain a customer than acquire a new one. That's the thing. So I do a lot of marketing to acquire new patients, but when you have somebody which is loyal to you and they come to you, and it's very important to retain them. Now, for example, I recently hired Dr. Carlotta, which is a junior plastic surgeon, joined me. She's very good in aesthetic medicine, and I'm transferring my patient to her because I'm more focused on surgeries. And I'm trying to teach her how the customer experience should be, because then people will trust her and will slowly abandon me for her, because we have the same level of qualification, of course. But it's a team effort. People need to know that it's a team and it's not a single person. And again, if she's in a bad mood, she's doing a bad job, it reflects on the whole team. Absolutely.
100%. And one thing that we specialize in is we go to the psychology of human interaction, and then how do you actually build rapport with someone? How do you build that connection? Because it's not always that easy, right? We're introverts, extroverts. We do DISC assessments. There's different personality types. So it doesn't come so easily maybe to you like you and me. We're pretty open and everything. So it's really helpful to understand what type of personality you have, Dr. Carlotta.
Carlotta, yes.
What type of personality, and then how she's comfortable to interact with others, because if you train her in the way that you interact with others, it might not be relevant for her, because she might be an introvert or different personalities. So
exactly. So we need to be, you in your work and me in my work, psychologists as well, because you need to understand the people. And I think you work with different kind of customers, again, from the ultra luxury brand to the normal brands, and you need to understand the people you have in front, because you can have the introvert, the simple person, or the very high, level person that needs another kind of approach from yourself. So it's very difficult from us to adjust, but this is what makes us successful, because we know how to deal with certain people. That's important. I have another question, because now, everybody's talking about AI. Yeah. How much do you think AI can substitute this personal touch, and how far can AI go to substitute human relationship?
It's a good question. My God, I get asked so much about AI because, of course, AI can help to, let's say, design programs, design things around what to say, how to do. But at the end of the day, especially in your job, especially with luxury brands, especially with hospitality, people go out of their house to meet other people. They want the human interaction. So I think at the end of the day, the last interaction has to be human. But absolutely AI, listen, we use AI at Sensate all the time. It's really helped us to develop our programs, to go deeper, to do more research. So it helps us a lot with research. But I think, I don't know how, there's AI and there's robotics also, right? Because I see a lot of now robotics are doing surgeries that are so complex and complicated. So I don't know, maybe the future is for us to sit on the beach and just relax and
hopefully
and let them take over. But
it's scary from a certain point of view because, of course, I feel exactly the same. So some human interaction is needed. And I put myself as a customer, as a patient, I don't want to deal with a robot all the time, Good that if I have the automatic message, and in Dubai we are very spoiled in that. We have all the apps that are, AI controlled now. So you want to book a massage at home, you want to book your barber, it's all, automatic. And that's very helpful. Because again, sometimes the human interaction in that process can be lengthy, can be people don't understand you, while a machine, you have selected answer that you can choose, and that's it. You cannot go further. So that's very important. But again, at the end, when you come and you go to your barber, you want your barber to, say, oh, same as you always, you want a coffee, and becomes, so I think AI will take a big part of, our job, but still, we are the mind behind it. I think AI cannot substitute completely the emotional intelligence that we have.
No, absolutely not. What AI can do for us, for you, for me in my business, is tell us how customers or guests or patients are interacting with your brand from outside, and how best maybe to approach that guest. So that could be something that AI can see, oh, this person has looked on your website and they've gone here and they've done this and they fell off here, or they spoke with someone at your reception and their reaction was this. So it can analyze reactions, but not do the, until now, we never know. Things are coming out so fast.
Exactly. I was talking with my marketing agency today, and I said, wait to do that because it's coming with the AI. So don't do this in this way, and we wait a little bit because it's coming, and it's happening so fast. That's unbelievable. Another important topic that you told me that your company is doing now is you hire people, you train them, and then you offer the team already prepared. Tell me a little bit more about this. How do you do this and how you focus on different sectors?
So we are an experience agency. So it means that we not just create experiences, but we train on experiences and then we deliver experiences. And then we realize that there's just one factor missing. It's finding the right person, giving them the experience, training them, and then putting them forward towards a role or within the company. We started testing that a few years ago. It worked really well with one, and then another one and another one. And now we recruit for, I would say, quite a lot of luxury brands, hospitality. We do a lot of recruitment in Saudi. And the way we do things differently is that we apply our own methodology on our candidates. So within the recruitment industry, globally, I would say it's a very damaged industry. It's almost like, estate agents. They have roles and they just want to fill them. We have a more family approach where we connect with people and we coach them and we really bring them under our wing. We take care of them and then we just never let them go. They're part of our family now. And we consider candidates like clients because we understand that they could grow one day into a leader and then they'll bring us on to help them hire. So that approach, including the whole idea of giving them an experience, has really helped us. And I would say that 90% of our clients now were referred to us by people who went through a process with us, a recruitment process.
That was my next question. How do you recruit your clients? Because it's very important. Also for me, the word of mouth is fundamental. Again, it's all about experience. This episode is all about how the experience can change your business. And there is a very famous Italian marketeer, let's call it. It's called Frank Merenda, and he always says you need to send at home to all your customers a little bag with your gifts. Spend a lot of money in that. People will feel it. People will touch. People will see the product you're selling. people will buy it. It's very easy. It's the next step, is something further. If you just present, this is my result of breast augmentation, this is, but you don't let them feel the experience. And also very important in my sector, for example, is to give voice to your customers or your patients and let them speak for you. I'm trying to convince a lot of my patients. Now, plastic surgery is not a taboo anymore. So I'm asking to all my patients, do you want to say something at the camera? Sometimes they don't want to put the face, they just record a voice note. But people feeling that there is a human being that went through an experience with me and is so happy gives absolutely an amazing, feedback from me.
Well, there's a very famous say by Maya Angelou that says, people will, they'll forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And I think someone can have great surgery, but the experience was not good, but they had a great surgery and you were there and you helped them and you made them feel. When they'll tell their girlfriends or friends, whatever, about it, they won't say, they'll say, oh my God, Dr. Matteo was so nice and so kind. And he came and he, stayed with me and he held my hand and he made me feel. They'll talk about the experience that they had with you, not necessarily about the surgery. They don't know the technical parts of the surgery. But if you give them a great personal experience.
Exactly. Yeah. They don't even have to know too much about the technical part because, if I talk to you about how I do a certain plastic surgery procedure, I said, that's not my business. I don't want to know. Yeah. Even I cannot know everything about your business. But again, if you make me feel that you know what you're doing, you're confident in what you're doing, you have enough experience to give me what I want and what I'm expecting from you, and the whole experience is something which is positive and I will remember as a great experience, it's, bingo, and then you get a client for life. Absolutely.
I think it's for me, it's so strange that no one has caught on to it yet, or not enough people have understood that this is what matters now, the experience. It's beyond me when you go into a space or anywhere that you have a bad experience. It's the core nowadays of everything. So
and I'm very also interested when I see some of the experience that the luxury brand, the ultra luxury, they create for the customer, the way it's something that really there is a huge team behind that to create that feeling and that experience. Because I always remember, Steve Jobs saying that I'm not creating something you need. I'm creating something that you want. I'm designing not my marketing around the object, but around you, around the customer. And this is all about experience. Because who doesn't have an iPhone or a smartphone now that makes what we expect them to do? Not what do we need an iPhone? No. But we expect this to do, and we expect an experience to be at the level we want. So when you select a hotel, when you select, you go on Google, you see the experience for other people, and you relate to them. Why TripAdvisor is so important is experience. They talk about experiences. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so the experience is absolutely, everything in nowadays, especially now, maybe you have heard about MIA, which is this new breast enhancement technique that has been created to give a volume and enhancement of the breast of a woman just 15 minutes under local anesthesia. And the team that created the MIA experience. It's a real experience because the patient comes in, they go under local anesthesia, 15 minutes after, they go back to their room. They just wait like 15, 20 minutes, everything is settled and fine, then they leave. It's like the lunch break boobs.
It's permanent?
It's permanent, absolutely. It's amazing. We do an implant, we inject through the armpit, so there is no scars on the breast, there is no pain, the recovery is super smooth and faster, and people are really, shocked when they hear about that. And what they did, they create this MIA experience, because it's not only the final result that they want. They said, okay, I'm going to have a facial, I'm going to have a treatment for my beauty, and you go back with boobs. It's astonishing how the technology went further. And again, they talk about the experience, and this brings a lot of customers, because I have a lot of patients talking about it. I did a podcast recently with 2 patients who did this, and I said, I could not believe it. The afternoon, I was in my computer working, making phone calls with no pain, no discomfort, and went back to my life within a few days. So yeah, the experience is something great. And I think in each sector you need to really work on your best to create this experience. Definitely.
It's interesting because it's just by putting the word experience, obviously it gave the company, they're called Mia, I assume, the purpose to create an experience and not to just say it. And that's exactly what we did. We decided not to call ourselves a learning and development company or a strategy agency. It's an experience agency. So it's always in our head to think we must deliver an experience. It's all my team, the whole training team, our recruitment team, because they know that we're an experience agency. They're like, oh, I need to deliver experiences all the time. So people deliver the experience that we deliver to them. And I think that's really smart to put the word experience there. It drives you always to try and do your best to create some sort of an emotional connection.
Exactly. Definitely. And it's really emotional for women because they did a study and they saw that most of these women, they will never go for breast augmentation traditional way because of general anesthesia, long recovery time, they don't want this pain and this discomfort. So when you create a 15 minutes experience, and I did a very nice video on Instagram, what can you do in 15 minutes? You can prepare a meal, you can have a shower, you can call your best friend, or you can have your boobs done. And that's a powerful message because it's an experience. Like you take a shower and you relax in a surgical center, and then you go out with an enhanced breast. And they're coming with many more ideas about this because also now everything is going towards the minimal invasive. So people don't want to undergo bigger things, long recovery time, being swollen for ages. They want something, quick fix, and that's why the aesthetic medicine is really booming everywhere.
I think Kris Jenner is really helping that, no?
Lately, yes, she did an amazing transformation. It's, of course, she might have done, we don't know exactly what she did, but she might have done for sure some surgical part, some non-surgical part, etc. But at the end, if you go and ask her directly, what was your experience? And I think also the experience starts before, during the process, but after. And her experience after is what the world is just saying about her. Say, oh my God, you look fantastic. And that's the key part, and you need to do for yourself. But when you receive, the feedback and the appreciation from the surrounding sector is amazing. Yeah, absolutely. And you've worked with some aesthetic clinics, right? What was your experience? How did you help them to grow their sales and grow their patient footfall?
So funny enough, it all happened very naturally because I went somewhere we worked with a center that wasn't just aesthetics, but was also with physiotherapists and with all about the body, all about health, all about mobility, beauty. And I went there for something personal. And then I realized what a great facility there was, but what a terrible experience. And I can say terrible because there are terrible experiences. And I had the opportunity to meet the owner, and I said to him, I love the center. You have all the facilities. It's so great. It's so modern. It's so fantastic. But the experience is just really know what it could be. And he was really open to it. And so what we did is we divided it into two programs. One was to deliver an experience for the employees, to train them on what kind of experience they should deliver to members, guests, clients, patients. And then we designed also the guest experience for the place. So we looked at it more on a holistic hospitality level. What you should see when you come in, what you should smell, your touch, your feel, the olfato, all the senses. And then, of course, the front desk. What kind of experience should the front desk give? What kind of experience should the nurses give? What kind of experience should the doctors or physiotherapists? And I'm really proud to say that in the combination of the two things, it became a really, really good success story. So we're really happy with that.
And how long did it take for you to transform this experience in this center? Usually, what is the time frame that a clinic, if they hire you tomorrow to create an experience? Of course, it depends on many factors, but on average, what is the time frame?
So we would do a mystery experience, a week of mystery experience, a few people coming in and having the experience, not going through any surgery, but most of the experience. We would then design what the experience should be like. We then do usually an executive workshop with the owners of the clinic to ask them, what would you like it to be? And then the gap between what the reality is and what they would like to be is where we work on and what we create all the training programs around. And then it's a matter of weeks. We then come back and do coaching and feedback sessions. And within, I would say, up to maximum 3 months, the place should be running in a really perfect
Different way,
yeah. Because again, it's about mindset and mentality that you want to work with people on coming to work and saying, you know what, today I want to give members a great experience. Today I'm going to make a new friend. Today I'm going to make someone happy. It's a mindset. So just putting people in the mindset.
Yeah, it's very difficult because for me at the moment I don't own a clinic, so I own my own brand and I created the experience within my own brand. But of course I need to rent a space in a clinic, which is a good or a bad experience. And I had in the past I changed several clinics over the years, and most of the owners, they don't understand this. And when you propose this, you need to have a look into that. You need to have a customer service representative, someone who welcome the patient, can upsell and cross-sell things from one specialty to the other. They don't understand. They said, oh, this is a waste of money. I said, it's an investment. It's not a waste of money. It's an investment. Of course,
100%.
You spend more money at the beginning to hire and train somebody, but that's the problem. This is number one. And the second is to train the people you have inside. Because some of them, in my opinion, are bad and you need to get rid of them. Not everybody can learn and can become at the level you want. But most of them, if you train them in the right way, they can become what you want. And I remember when I moved to Dubai, I was working for this big hospital, and the CEO told me one thing. What if we train a person and this person leave? And he said to me, what if we don't train and they stay? We have a worse thing. It's better to train someone, give 6 months, and then they leave because they understand that there is more potential. Good for them. We taught them something at least. So I'm proud to do that rather than keep someone just because they will never leave and they don't want to be trained. They don't learn.
100%.
So the employees is the core, is the focus. But again, if you will have the chance to work with more and more clinics, you will understand that if the owner has not his mindset, it's almost impossible to change the employees' mentality. Am I right?
Yeah, unfortunately, here I find that a lot of clinics or places that receive people are so focused about making that money right now, right here, that it just loses that. They don't care about loyalty. They don't care about, they just care about the next customer, the next customer, the next customer. And it's such a shame. Like you said, it's the golden rule of marketing, retention of customers, loyalty. I mean, luxury brands are spending billions of dollars on creating loyalty. Billions. They understand hospitality, hotels. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but in a hotel, when you go into a luxury 5-star hotel, when they come in the morning after you've left your room to check your room, they check what tools you've used, they check where you put your slippers, and they will always do your bed, make your bed, and reapply the things that you've used without you even realizing that when you get to bed, your slippers are on the side that you sleep on. And they really understand the core value of how to create these moments for you that are, we call them aha moments or wow moments, and yeah, there's a lot of clinics that miss that.
And also, I think that the secret is to do this without getting noticed.
100%.
Because if you do that, people think, oh, wow, that's. I was not expecting that. They don't know that there is a study behind that, but this is exactly what they want. And what I'm trying to give to, again, my employees now, saying that listen to your customers, your patients, because they will tell you what they want. You know exactly. You know that there is the one who has a low pain tolerance, so you tell them, come half an hour before we apply the numbing cream on your face, for example, or the one who doesn't want the bruises, so you remember me to use a different needle, something to avoid this kind of thing. And it's the personal touch that really at the end makes the difference. 100%.
And when we train people around experience, we tell them that actually loyalty is built, exactly what you just said, on the hidden clues, not on the obvious. Not, I like plastic surgery, I want my nose, things about what she or he said about their family, and then writing it down. And the next time when they come, how's your husband? How are the kids? These are things that when you remember these things, people are shocked because we don't remember anything, right? We're so busy nowadays. And that's the key things in I remember, which is exactly the same with the slippers on the right side and everything, or remembering that you like the plastic or the wooden toothbrush. These are things that make a difference.
Yeah. I train also my team in that because I see 20, 25 patients a day. So you can imagine that my memory has a certain limit capacity, and then the gigabyte are done. So I always tell my team, before you bring a patient in, remember me what she did before, etc., because it's a kind of so they have the time while I'm with the previous patient to check my notes before, and then they come and said, oh, this patient did Botox 6 months ago with you, or did the surgery with you. And for me, when they come, oh, how is your Botox? Is already gone? We need to, and people appreciate that. And because I'm terrible with the face memory, so I see a patient, I know who you, but what you did, it's difficult. Come on, 25 patients a day, you can understand that is impossible. So that's the experience also, and that's how you train your staff. So I really like that we are very aligned in that.
Yes.
You do as a job, I do for my job, but it's I think a very good match in this sense.
So I have a question for you, actually.
Oh yeah, tell me.
Since you understand experience so well, when are we going to have like a Dr. Matteo clinic? Like, I mean,
Working on that. Cannot say more. I'm working on that. It's not easy because sometimes I find people I can cooperate with, and then going down the line, creating the business plans that I understand that they don't understand my point of view, and I think I need to go solo and do my own thing, my own experience, my own vibe, my own feeling. And of course, to do that, you need to have, because if you get investors, which of course you need money for that, but they always want to say something and they want their money back. I said, you know what? I want to create something on my own. If it goes well, it's my pride. 100%. If it goes well, bad, okay, it's my fault, but I don't have to give answers to anybody. So it's on the making. Stay tuned because it will come soon. And of course, you will be a partner in helping me. Exactly. Yes. We will do that together. Amazing. So I think it was a lot of back and forth questions. Thank you so much, Ben. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Maybe we will do something else in the future. We create, if we do the clinic, and we tell them how we create the experience for Dr. Vigo Clinic.
So I will get the 15-minute boobs.
Exactly. So again, thank you so much, and it was a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you.
For all the listeners, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this a little bit out of the scheme episode for now. And if you like it, please subscribe to the channel, put a like, and see you soon for another episode of Dr. Matteo Vigo Beauty Talks. Because you deserve the best.